my opinion, Hurricane Ida was a blessing in disguise for the Saints.
Packers fans are idiots.
George Kittle loves to get yards, especially after the catch.
Welcome back to Certified Beef. On today's episode, we will be talking about the head coaching vacancies still left, who we think goes there, talk about who's going to get left out. I mean, one of these coaches that is a great coach is going to be left out. Then we'll get into championship weekend and then book it with Beef, obviously, to end. Granted, there's only 2 head coaching vacancies left, and we're literally not even done with the playoffs, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. But who do you feel is going to fill the Washington and Seattle job?
Oh, I have no idea. I have not paid enough attention to the coaching carousel yet. Not really feeling it this year, but it's been actually kind of crazy. So you start paying more attention to it. I think for Washington, you definitely need to get a guy that's going to try and develop Sam Howell.
Why? He's done.
Is he?
They're going to draft a quarterback. They have the second pick.
Marvin Harrison.
They're going to draft a quarterback.
Or Joe Alt. But even still, you need to get a offensive-minded head coach that's specialty is QBs. I think the Frank Reich experiment is over for all the teams. I don't think they're going to be hiring that guy for a head coaching job anytime soon again. So the quarterback whisperer is done. But yeah, like Washington just kind of needs everything at this moment. Like they need someone that's just, I guess, an overall guy focused on development because it's definitely rebuilding years in the capital.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wonder. I mean, I think this is Ben Johnson all day long. I think this is where he goes because I think he's going to take a head coaching job this year. I do wonder, like, obviously he interviewed for almost all these jobs. I wonder if teams kind of like maybe hold the plug early on their head coaching search and just gave up on Ben Johnson because of how far they go in the playoffs. But I don't know why you would do that if that's your guy. Obviously,
right.
Some of these teams, it wasn't their guy. But if Ben Johnson makes a lot of sense here, they're not. The Commanders have already said they're out on Bill Belichick. They haven't even interviewed him. I think they might have interviewed Mike Vrabel.
I think that's right.
Bobby. This could be also Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick from the Texans. This could be his spot. I think it's between him and Ben Johnson at this point. I don't really see anyone else going there. And I feel like if it was Bobby Slowick, I feel like they would have already they would have already signed him, but they might also want to do another interview with Ben Johnson, and maybe he's not taking interviews this week just because it's a big game.
Right.
I still think that's so weird that team like coaches interview during the playoffs. I don't know why. I just think that's weird.
No, it kind of is, but it's also
like the ones that are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the NFL should like to an extent. It's like, how is that not tampering? How is this not a thing of tampering to an extent? Because they still have a job. They're still technically obligated to the job because they're in the playoffs still.
Yeah. But it's not like they're jumping ship right away.
No.
They still got
they technically do kind of because they leave kind of within a week.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, yeah, that's probably why they're waiting, though, is because Ben Johnson does have that big game coming up. It's kind of weird that they go for an offensive-minded head coach that they kind of haven't thought about Bieniemy even more. Like I know,
yeah, I don't understand. He got screwed.
Yeah, like why is he there at this point if he's not going to be hired? Like I wonder if they just keep.
I wonder if they just keep him on as the OC with Ben Johnson.
I feel like that'd just be demoralizing for Bieniemy. Like
he already probably is. Yeah, he probably already is in a world of like, this sucks ass.
Yeah, like you were brought there to replace Ron Rivera is what most people thought, and now you're just kind of stuck as like the OC to a head coach that's going to be hired. That's probably a former OC. Like what? Like I think he needs to get out of there. Like I know we're not the biggest Eric Bieniemy fans here, but like he's got to do what's right for him and kind of get out of Washington there. if he's not going to get
you
hired.
think Andy Reid just like welcomes him back with open arms if he leaves?
Well, let's see. Isn't it
Or
Matt Nagy right now, or is he defense? I
yeah,
can't
it
remember.
is Matt Nagy.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're
Or
doing
like
something
maybe the
well enough.
Eagles want to get it. Maybe the Eagles have interest or something if he goes. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. So,
He just got screwed.
yeah, that not the best start or the best position
Yeah. No,
for
not at
BNB
all.
there.
And then for the Seahawks, me, personal insider, my roommate JJ, he thinks that it's Mike McDonald, the Ravens defense coordinator.
I didn't even know, honestly, that he was taking interviews. I thought he was
He
just kind of stuck there. But
no. He's been taking interviews, but I think that's where JJ thinks he's going to end up.
he's been
I
very
don't
under
know.
the radar. I haven't heard much about him, so
Yeah, he's got the best defense in football.
that's true.
Um, but if you're a team, would you rather have the offensive minded head coach or would you have like the leader of men? Would you have like a Mike Tomlin, a Mike Vrabel, teams like that who they're not there to like coach a certain thing or like a Dan Campbell? Would you rather have
Right.
that or would you rather have these offensive minded gurus?
I think you got to get the leader of men type of guy because ultimately the job of head coach is like the ultimate rah rah man. Like that's why Sirianni has a job as a head coach. It's because he's
Yeah,
like
still.
good at pump. Like he brings the intensity, just like Dan Campbell, stuff like that. So like, and head coach is supposed to be like a generalist. That's why they hardly ever call like offense or defense because you leave that to your coordinators. So I think you need to get the guy like you said, like Vrabel. Um like I don't even who else would fill that kind of
I mean,
spot.
Bill Belichick is he's not really like a defensive guru or an offensive guru. He's just a
He
football
leans
coach.
defense, but I guess yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He's not.
Or like I don't know. There's not really any of them out. I mean, Pete Carroll, I would say, is like
But like
but
you
he's
fired
kind
him
of
for a
fucked.
reason.
Oh, no, I'm
So
not talking about the Seahawks. I'm just talking to general. But
oh
yeah,
yeah, yep. So like
I don't know. It's crazy because like I have a feeling Bill Belichick is not gonna get a job.
no, you should have
I think
just
it's very
retired. Let's just say that. I
well.
think you should.
That's the thing is like who after a whole year is he gonna want to come back and coach after taking a year off? Because
I
the
don't
problem
know.
is he's been out of the game for so long, and he ain't gonna take a defensive coordinator job.
No.
So like he's been out of the game for so long of not being anything but a coach. And then you got Vrabel. He's a defensive minded coach. I think he's been a defense coordinator before, but or maybe not. I don't know if he has, but maybe he was with the Patriots. I don't know. Either way. But do you think like does he take a step down and go be a defensive coordinator somewhere? It's like do these guys take the demotion or like I can't believe Mike Vrabel didn't get picked up. Like I think he's
Yeah.
the best. He was the best coach available outside of these. I mean, in general, I just think he was the best available person for any coaching job.
Vrabel might need to go the route that we were just talking about with Bieniemy, where like he senses something in the water that there's uncertainty within the locker room. Hey, I'll pick up this defensive coordinator job for them, and then once that guy gets fired, it's my turn again. And like he's
Yeah,
proven he's got a good enough track record as when he was the Titans head coach. So I think he could go that route and have more success. Like Bieniemy had no, like he had never been hired for a head coaching job before, so he doesn't have any of that like prior experience with it. So Vrabel bringing in a proven track record, I think he would have more success if he took that route.
yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, he is still has plenty of time. Like Bill Belichick, obviously Pete Carroll, he was like he
Yeah,
still wants to coach. Like, but I think he's done. Obviously, not getting any of the other jobs, and I don't think he's going to get the Washington job. So
no,
it's kind of like the end of the road for like Bill Belichick and him. But I like Vrabel is such an interesting piece. Like, where do you go from? Like, I thought he should have got the New England job. I
yeah,
never understand like promoting within I mean, I guess because they didn't fire Bill Belichick, but promoting within has got to be like one of the weirdest moves most time, unless it's an interim like Antonio Pierce, but he
yeah,
was actually good as an interim. I don't understand starting over new season promoting within. It never makes sense to me.
yeah. No, that's
Because you
like
already have that they already have that stink on from last year. If
I
you
guess it's kind
sucked,
of like the Patriots way though. Like
it is.
uh,
And eventually that's gonna I mean, it's gonna eventually like I mean, obviously it's kind of bit them in the ass to begin with because of how bad they've been. But eventually this is just gonna keep stinging them.
But like, is that also like an advantage? Because like we don't know what Gerard Mayo's gonna be bringing to the table at all. Like we don't know what he's really like. He's just been a linebackers coach for however many years. So
I don't know.
like,
I've never been a fan of promoting within just because like you guys sucked last year. He was a part of that coaching staff. Like,
yeah,
what is he going to bring in that's new? And apparently, like it's been like kind of known for weeks during the season too that he was probably going to be the guy if Bill Belichick left. That he was going to be promoted to a head coach. So it's kind of an awkward situation.
yeah, like Belichick definitely should have gotten out on better terms. Like you, it's unfortunate that just kind of went down the way it did, though. Like for one of
Yeah,
the best to ever do it, like still hard to get the separation of how good is he without Brady, but still like one of the best to ever do it, and he goes out on a 4-13 season. Like that's not how it
I
should
just
end.
I just can't believe he didn't get the Falcons job. Like he interviewed twice, and then they went with Raheem Morris.
I do kind of like that move though for them.
I, I,
I
I
mean,
would. He's not a good. He was the interim coach there like 2 years ago, and then they let him go.
oh, that's
And
right.
his
Forgot about
and
that.
like it makes no sense because Rams defense was not that good this year, and he gets a, like I just didn't understand how he was like a top guy for a coaching job.
But also the Rams
Like
defense had like zero pieces on it, so
that's fair.
like I do like the Falcons are a much better defensive team. Like they had a top defense this year, and they
Yeah.
had Arthur Smith running the show. So like
It just seems like a hire where they could literally just be looking for a head coach in 3 more years.
that is true. And like
So
you got, I guess like Dan Quinn didn't work out too good for them last time, but like I don't know if I would have taken him over Raheem Morris or not. But yeah, it's just something to
yeah,
think about.
who knows? I'm
Kind of
just
kind of glad that Flores is probably staying though for the
yeah. I
Vikings.
mean, I didn't think he was gonna leave. People were like, "Oh, he's gonna go take a defensive coordinator job somewhere else." I'm like, why the fuck would he do that?
No, but like the way that the Vikings defense did play this year, I did get nervous that he would get picked up for a head coaching role, but glad he didn't. Just
No,
selfish reasons.
I think his times as a head coach are probably over. I think he's a defensive coordinator
I
guy
would not be surprised by that,
because I mean, he seems like he's better at focusing on one aspect of the team instead of just the entire team.
especially how the his tenure with the Dolphins ended. So
I mean, it is kind of nice not having to look for a head coach. I hate that. It feels nice to have security. Not that I would say we have any because like we've had a history of bad coaches, but I mean, we had Kevin O'Connell doesn't seem like he's anywhere near going out the door.
not yet, not yet.
No. I think he has a better chance of staying like longer than fucking Quessy does. He could get fired in 2 years.
This could be a make or break draft,
You
for
think his
sure.
draft last year was horrible?
Yeah,
It was
but
so bad.
this year you got the future of the franchise on the line.
Like this is a no excuse draft. If you fuck this up, you're gonna be
There's a lot
in
of
trouble.
surefire prospects on this in this draft class,
Well,
more
that
than
and
years past. It seems.
he's got to make a big decision free agency too. Like there's guys that he's gonna have to let walk, and there's gonna be guys that he has to bring back.
Yep.
Like you if you want. I mean, for some people they don't like it, but if you want to keep the fans happy, you have to bring Kirk back. And Jett is happy. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole off season. I mean, the draft needs to go well, but the whole off season needs to be sign Kirk back and and sign Jettis to a contract extension. That's like the only goal. Like
Yep.
if you don't accomplish both, or at least Jettis failed off season,
If yeah,
you got to get it done.
you're stuck between like a rock and a hard place because uh got Daniil Hunter coming off one of his best seasons. You got Kirk Cousins, who was balling out before he tore his Achilles, and then also like you gotta give the blank check to Jefferson. So like, how much of that money can you distribute around? And that's why I don't want Quessy's job right now. This is complete hell for him. He's got put in a tough spot.
I wish we could sign a contract or whatever for like royalties. Like based like the units or however they like determine money. Jettis gets a certain percentage of the money the team
Oh,
makes,
yeah.
and then
Okay.
it just like slowly like fills out his contract over time instead of just like all in once. I wish that could be a thing.
I think you need to take that up with the Wilfs. That might be a good idea.
Or we just do like why not just do like a Bobby Bonilla thing? Like Jettis will give you this
Deferred
contract, but
money.
we'll give you a $200 million contract, but we're gonna pay you over 20 years. So you get $10 million a year, or 40 years, and you get $5 million a year. Like just give them the Bobby Bonilla deal.
Yeah, just
And then,
Vikings for life.
but then that like it will sign you for that, but your contract is only so long. Then we can just bring you back again. We'll give you the same thing again.
That would be very interesting if football allowed that. If the NFL allowed that.
All right,
Great times.
championship weekend. This weekend, I am conflicted. Well, not with the first game. The first game is cut and dry.
Well,
I
yeah.
know what to do with my life. The second game, I have no idea what to do. I don't know
So
about you.
we starting with the cut and dry game.
Yeah, cut and dry. Fuck the Chiefs.
Yep.
It's Ravens all day. I'm terrified. Patrick Mahomes is an underdog again, even though they should be because they're not as good as the Ravens. But
No, not at all.
this game scares me a ton.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous too because the Ravens offense, besides like Lamar's 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, like they did not look very impressive against the Texans. They didn't have a receiver that went over 50 yards, which is concerning. Uh, and like a lot of their scores or like they got good field position because the Texans just kept like shooting themselves in the foot. Like 5 false starts, 1 delay of game, 1 encroachment, 1 neutral zone infraction. Like that should never happen in a normal game, let alone a playoff game. So yeah, lots of short fields for the Ravens. Uh, then like the Chiefs, like uh, I don't know, like Rashee Rice is kind of becoming like the number 2 old or reliable. It kind of seems like you got Travis Kelce who just does his little sit down routes, and then but Rashee Rice seems like he just gets to the sticks and then just catches the ball and then like gets tackled like a yard or two later, just there when you need the first downs. But like this is just this is gonna be tough. I know M&T Bank Stadium's gonna be that place is gonna be really rocking. Yeah, more than last weekend, more than normal. So like I do like the Ravens, but man, like it is hard to bet against Mahomes, but here you just kind of have to. And you get Mark Andrews, who is probably coming back this week, where they
Mm-hmm.
lacked a big receiver last game. You pair him up with Likely once again. Uh, yeah, so give me the Ravens. Um, I think it's probably gonna be like a middle scoring game. So like a 17 to like 24-ish, something like that. I could definitely see.
Yeah, this game. I mean, there's a lot. This is Lamar Jackson. This is the game he needs to win. To shut the haters up.
Yep.
The haters are going to come if he loses this game, 100%. Because there's no reason he should have lost last game. Because like that, the Texans are an overachieving team.
Yep.
Because of the far better team. Now you have to face the Almighty, and if you lose this game, you're never going to live. I don't know if you're going to live this one down because or lose this game, whatever. Lose this
Yeah.
game. I think that's what I meant to say. If you lose this game, you're never going to live it. Like you're never going to hear the end of it.
No.
Like you gotta. This is when you need to shine because like this game, I'm not gonna lie to you. This game probably has more pressure on him if they make the Super Bowl. This game will have more pressure on him than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, you go balls to walls because you got nothing to lose. You're already
Exactly.
there. You got to get there still to like with this game. That's why the people say the championship weekend is harder than the Super Bowl. Yeah, people have said that before because like you don't want to look ahead. There's so much to look ahead to, but this, I mean, I like obviously I like the Ravens in this game, but like I think one of the big things is Chiefs kind of ran all over last week. The Bills kind of like stuck with the run too much, but they did run the ball well. And Willie Gay might not be available this week for them. There's one of their safeties is out, the Chiefs, and then you give Mark Andrews over in the middle. They didn't have a middle of the field presence enough, and now they have Mark Andrews back. I just think that the Chiefs, it all depends because you got Spags and that like the Spagnola, it all depends on how he plays this game. I think him versus Lamar is the big thing. I think the Ravens are going to be able to run the ball plenty. Just that's not on my worry. I'm just how they going to attack Lamar is the big thing. Again, because if they don't attack Lamar, he's going to be able to throw all around the yard. Because the Chiefs, I think they struggle to rush the passer a little bit. Chris Jones has his moments, but there's sometimes where he is non-existent.
It's the playoffs like the
fourth quarter. It's the fourth quarter, and it's the playoffs. He fucking sucks in the playoffs. I know he didn't make the play last week, but he does suck in the playoffs. He's like one of the worst playoff performers for how much people suck his dick. He sucks in the playoffs, so I don't know. I think the Ravens defense is gonna you can't hold Patrick Mahomes in check, but you can hold him. You can manage him, and I think the Ravens can manage them. I just don't know if they will. This game seems like no one's gonna blow each other out. I don't think it's not that type of game. This game just could get out of hand for either defense. I think.
I think though that as good as Mahomes is at getting out of the pocket, Lamar is just so much better on his feet. I think that the Chiefs definitely would be the first ones to break down just because the Ravens roster, Ravens defense is just so star-studded. Isn't Marlon Humphreys, isn't he coming back too this week?
He's limited today.
He's limited.
He might not come back.
This might be one of those weeks though where you might need to tough it out, but who knows? But even still, that defense is otherworldly. It just stacks up better for the Ravens than the Chiefs. But then,
of course,
the Chiefs got the ultimate equalizer in Patrick Mahomes. So,
like I said, I think this game screams defense because you got two top five-ish. I mean, obviously the Ravens are the top, Chiefs top 10 defense for sure. This game just screams defense, but when it screams defense, you just know that points are going to be scored. That's just the problem. Unless it's literally some of the shittiest teams. But the problem is you got two good teams. You got two good offenses, two good defenses, and a lot of times the offense does win, and that's the issue: is whose offense do you trust the most? And I think that could be also the key to this game is who do you trust the most? And most people are probably going to trust Patrick Mahomes the most.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I don't trust those receivers the most though, but
yeah, I don't really have a pick for the game. I don't know who's going to win.
Do you know what also screams defense for that game? High of 46 with a 65% chance of rain.
Man, who cares? Weather doesn't exist. When it comes to football, it's football. Who cares? 46. That's
46 is the nice part. The rain is the not fun part.
Well, that's if it rains. If it doesn't rain, then that's perfect football weather. That's it's all gas, no brakes.
Yeah,
46.
Can't disagree with that.
Now this is where I'm going to pickle Brandon. The NFC title game. I don't know who to cheer for. I feel like I have to stop cheering for the Lions. I feel like I can't keep going.
Yeah, it's we're kind of stuck here because
the problem is I can't I don't want them because the problem is I don't know if I can let them get to the Super Bowl because the problem is if they get to the Super Bowl, I'm just just the chance of them winning before the Vikings would kill me.
Yeah,
would absolutely kill me.
Yeah, it definitely would. And then I don't know, the 49ers are a fun team, but they're also the favorites, and you never like to see the favorites win.
That's my problem too. That's the issue. Is I hate the favorites all the time. I mean, the Chiefs aren't the favorites, but I fuck the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, that's the exception. If it's not your team or if it's the Chiefs, then you don't cheer for the favorites. But yeah, like I think you gotta. I don't know. I'm I think I'm going to cheer for the Lions this weekend. Uh, Partly because we have more ties to them technically because of Adam and Matt.
Well, I don't give a fuck about that.
It's
Fuck
just
them.
I don't know. It's just a more feel good story to me than the 49ers. Like 49ers are just a super team that's been this way for 5 years now. Like
Yeah.
always in the playoffs. Now the Lions just come out of nowhere, basically get a quick turnaround. So yeah, I guess, but like I hate the Lions pass defense, and I think if Deebo Samuel plays, they're just gonna get absolutely carved up.
I don't
Like
think Debo's gonna play.
I don't think so either, but it's he if he does play, it's
Yeah, I don't I
might be
just
game over.
that's I don't think he's gonna play. So I think that I mean that plays a huge factor, but
Yeah,
I don't think people are giving the Lions enough chance in this game.
no,
I think they have a chance. Their offense is dynamic. The 49ers can get run on, and the Lions love to run the football. And I think that the Lions can keep up in this game. I definitely think they can win. I
yeah,
for sure. My who I'm gonna cheer for is if Parker comes over. I'm cheering for whoever he cheers for. That's gonna be how I pick it because I think I know what JJ is gonna do, and I
yeah.
don't know what Parker's gonna do. So I don't want to go with JJ because that's not fun.
He's gonna be Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the NFL hat and I'm
Yeah,
just gonna cheer for the
cheer for
NFL.
the refs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I should do. I should just be that guy.
Yeah, I hope everyone has fun.
And I don't know, I just don't. It could be the problem is the Lions will not kill them. The 49ers could easily kill them.
Yeah, I mean, it also determines like or it's determined on what Brock Purdy we see because like if he can do his play action, build off the run type of stuff, which the Lions are good at stopping, then maybe and if they can force him into like those like set drops, like rhythm throws and stuff like that, then I think the Lions got a lot better chance at
Yeah, the Lions
winning.
have to stop the run in this game. I think
Yeah,
that's a huge thing in this game.
yeah,
If they don't stop the run, I think it's game. I think I mean this game, I mean obviously like if the 49ers get the ball first, you're going to be able to tell how this game goes off the first drive, but then you have to see the Lions offense. Like if the 49ers just like run down their throat the first drive, like just go down and like methodically score a touchdown, and then the fucking Lions just look like absolute like scared. Like
three and
the
out.
game is gonna like a 3 and out or maybe a for one first down and then punt. Like you're just gonna know how this game is gonna go, and that's just kind of how it is. If you're the
Yeah.
Lions, do you win the if you win the coin toss, do you take the ball?
That's such a tough call because it didn't work out from the last time against the
No.
Bucks.
But
But
I feel like the 49ers you need to get a lead.
that's true. Yeah, because they're not good at coming back. So I guess yeah, you have to. It sticks with your
It
mentality
is
that
Dan
you've
Campbell.
been all year. Like I think they said that they took the ball like 12 or 13 times.
Really?
Like for or like they got the ball first like 12 or 13 times this year to start the game
Yeah,
and like
I think that is like I mean, obviously it's not going to come down to the coin toss, but I think the coin toss in this game is actually insanely crucial.
yeah.
Because if you're the Lions, I would want to lose that because then you don't have to make a decision on it.
Well, do you think they're gonna end up with the ball either way?
They could. That's the thing. They could end up with the ball either way.
Yeah. So because I think the 49ers are definitely more typical, like defer to the second half type of deal.
Or if you're the Lions, defer onside kick first play.
They'll
I'm
never
kidding.
see it coming.
Never see it coming.
Call Pat McAfee out of retirement real quick. And
I'm also really worried for this game. Like if I do end up rooting for the Lions, I'm worried that Dan Campbell is gonna go. He's gonna go. He's gonna
make some
do some.
stupid call.
He's gonna do some fuck shit.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call it. He's gonna do some fuck shit.
like if you're on your own, or if it's less, or if it's more than 2 yards and you're on your own side of the 50, don't go for it. Even if bad legs say go for it, don't go for it. Just punt it.
Well, I mean, depends on where you are. I like Dan Campbell this game. I have a feeling like if it's less than three or less, and he's on the opposite side of the 50 on fourth down, I think he's going to go for it every time.
Oh, I think so too.
I would if I'm a coach, no matter what the game is. I'm going for it 4th and 3 or less every time.
Yeah, unless like you got a guaranteed 3 points, like within like you're like
It also
like,
depends. I mean, if it's like 4 minutes left and I can go up 10, then I'll kick the field goal.
Yeah.
But if it's a close game, I'm going for it every time.
That makes sense though. Like
100%.
Yeah. Oh, just gotta
like the fourth and goal field goal is got to be one of the most frustrating. Like when it's like a less than 23 yards, that has got to be the most frustrating field goal in football. When you're like inside the 5, like you might as well just go for it. It's basically a punt if you don't get the touchdown. They have to go 95 yards. Well, I never understand kicking a field goal there. Never makes sense to me, ever.
I could definitely see like Ben Johnson or whoever just being like going up to Dan Campbell for the game and saying, all right, like this is a big game for us. You need to coach smart. Like we want your like fire and your passion, but like don't be like just like thinking out of your ass and like pulling the Cowboys again or something like that. So
but Kyle Shanahan also makes some stupid ass decisions. Like that end of the game last week, that was by far one of the weirdest things. Or was that like this first half or whatever it was? It might have been the first half, yeah. Where was it the first was it the end of the game? Am I tripping? Sure. One of the two. They had like 2 minutes left and he just sat on the ball basically. And then I was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like he makes some weird decisions. But I mean, I lean 49ers here just because they are the better team.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried though is like if the Lions do win this game, I don't know if they can compete with the teams on the other side though if they win in the Super Bowl. I know that they beat the Chiefs, but I don't know if the Chiefs weren't. I don't know if they were that good at the beginning of the season.
Remember, they didn't have Chris Jones that first week, or Travis Kelce.
Or Travis Kelce. Exactly. Asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk win.
Yeah. So exactly.
Mike. I don't know if they can compete with either team because they got boat raced by the Ravens in the regular season.
Like so it's pretty common sense though. Like in saying this, but like obviously they got a better chance against the Chiefs. Because like you said, they did beat them and like the seeds match up and everything like that. But I don't know. I think they could torch some defenses, but I don't like the Ravens are just such the superior team. So
also what a coincidence that it's 3 versus 1 in both sides. Like what a coincidence.
Yep.
So dumb.
3-6 in that hold this year, like you were talking about.
Yeah, JJ talked about that the whole time. He's like, "Oh, look at the Lions; they're gonna lose," and then they're in the NFC title game.
Yeah,
like the 3-6 curse is ended by nothing other than the Lions.
The Lions.
Like what? Like it makes no sense.
It really doesn't. But that's why we love football.
Yeah. All right, it's time for Book It with Beef. I kind of got fucked last week in a lot of ways. Well, the Texans just didn't show up. Then I should have seen that coming. But the other games, I should have they could have easily hit, and they just didn't.
Yeah, they kind of both went the wrong way for you there because Green Bay, San Francisco was looking like it was going to hit it easily in like the.
Well, that Tampa Detroit thing, that was the worst game for the first half. It was like what 10-10 at the half or whatever,
something like that. Yeah. No, yeah, 10-10.
And then they just they just blitzed the second half. I'm like, what is going on here? It was just bad. The Lions literally somehow covered that. That like they looked like they were going to lose the game,
Yeah.
but I don't. I have no. I'm back to having like zero faith in picks now, even though I went like 3-2 in the wild card. I think,
Yep. 3-2 in the wild card.
but I don't even after last week. It's like I haven't had a 1-4 week in 2 months at least. Like it's been so long. I don't even know what to think. What are you looking at it?
Yep. Your last 1-4 week was week 7. And then you went 0-5 the next week in week 8.
Week 8 and beyond, I am like a different animal.
Week 9 and
though.
beyond. Yep.
Yeah. Week 9, that's when the heater got cooking. But this week I got tamed a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm starting to run out of propane. This little buddy heater is it's getting low. Like it's got that little like it's got like the pilot light on. It's on its last little breath.
Kind of scooching towards the finish line.
Yeah, because I don't have honors again this week.
Nope. You want to explain our rule changes for this week in the Super Bowl?
Of course. So this week, I told Brandon I didn't want to do player props like last year just because it's really not that fair because there's so many to choose from. So it kind of makes it like because the whole draft thing, that was kind of the whole point of the draft thing to make it so it's harder. So this week we're just going to do a spread. So plot underdog or over or an underdog or favorite, and then a total over under in the Super Bowl. We're going to come up with 4. Most Gatorade for sure, a spread or a total, and then 2 other ones probably, or we could do that's
so
what
it's gonna be Super Bowl. It's gonna be one pick, like you said, the spread or the total, just one automatic in the bank for that, and then we're gonna add our Super Bowl props into the final Super Bowl week, so it equals like 5 points. So
yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
this week was obviously the hardest one to do because like there's nothing really you can do outside of the spread and total.
Yep, 2 games. I'll get started. I might as well do my in the bank. I'm gonna go with Lions +7 at San Francisco in the bank.
Straight cash, homie.
Tell them to bring me my money.
I figured you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean it's the biggest spread and it's the one I'm most confident in. So I kind of have to. So
yeah, I don't know what I was mine because like that's the only one I like feel it's the biggest spread, and
yeah,
I don't trust the 49ers after last week that much.
Nope, neither
and
do I.
I don't really feel like touching the other game. That's my only issue.
Yeah.
I'll go to my in the bank. I'm gonna go Kansas City, Baltimore over 4.5.
Straight cash, homie.
Tell them to bring me my money.
44.5. Okay.
It was 44 last week for the Bills and Chiefs, and it was a shootout, and both defense had been playing good, and it was kind of both offenses kind of did their thing.
I mean, that's only scoring 22 points average
a piece.
So yeah. So that's not out of the question by any means.
No.
I'm also doing it over, but I'm doing the other game, Detroit at San Francisco over 51. Detroit defense sucks against the pass, and Chris McCaffrey is still a good running back, even though he's going against a good run defense. I think he punches it in for one.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say
generous.
Chris McCaffrey scores a touchdown this week.
I will say it's 51.5, but you also get 7.5 for the Lions because it's also 7.5 now.
Okay, I will.
So it's 51.5 and it's 7.5.
7.5 doesn't matter, but
no, it does help you because if they lose by 7,
yeah, that's true.
not a push.
That's not a push. All right.
Okay. I'm not going to tail you because that doesn't. I don't like the 49ers that much. Do I go with the I suck at betting and pick the one I don't want to win, or do I pick the one that I think is going to win? That's my issue. It's like one of the two. Like
You see,
is the little buddy eater gonna fucking get one last go in it? And
like you, there is a thing though. Like, I don't know how much you care about hitting your picks anymore, but you could choose the Chiefs, and then if that loses, you're happy because the Chiefs lost. But if the Chiefs win, then you're happy because you hit it.
yeah, that makes sense. I'll just take the Chiefs +4 then. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Certified Beef. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
See you later.